Welcome, Michel, to Metallarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Houwitser, this new album, Sentinel Beast, and obviously more things related to the metal world in general. So we're starting by asking, I think, how has the band been during the last years?
Well, really quiet actually. We recorded back in the recordings are from 2013, like more than 10 years old. And everything we did with those recordings went wrong.
Mm.
Upon the moment that even the total mix was stolen, the computer where it was on, it was a
Mm.
laptop and it was stolen. So, and we were like, okay, fuck that shit. And the band like bled out. And yeah, we were no one wanted to play. We all had different projects at that time, and yeah, so it bled out a bit. Well, actually, a lot. And so I was talking to one of the guys from Vidar, who's a friend of mine, Edwin Nedercoin, and we were sitting right here
Mm.
and drinking a couple of beers, and he was asking about what was with Houwitser and talking about that. I said, yeah, we should have some CD recording somewhere. And he was like, are you kidding me? And no, really, got those recordings. I don't know what happened to it. It should be somewhere. And he was like, well, we want to bring that out. That would be awesome. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And that was yeah. And then the whole thing started, and that was actually the only things that have been going on with Howitzer for the past 10 years.
Mm.
No shows, no. But actually, we did rehearse with a drummer, with Marco, the drummer on Bestial Atrocity,
Mhm.
and only me and Richard, the other guitar player. With the three of us, we rehearsed a couple of times, and that was yeah quite fun. But that also bled out because of lack of time from all three sides. So yeah, that's it. Actually, what happened with the band?
Mm. Okay, interesting. No, well, because the next question
Yeah,
will do this to this aspect. So, why delay so for 14 years to release this new Sentinel Beast?
yeah, that was what I told you. The recordings went missing, and actually, the whole process of recovering everything
Mhm.
took more than a year.
Okay.
Uh, it only existed as loose files. So
Mm.
like every you know how recordings work, like every track, but every take, like if you do a guitar, you record a guitar track and you make a mistake. Sometimes you can cut in a break or something, but every take is a different file. So there were hundreds of files,
Mhm.
just files, and they all had to be put in place. And so it was really a shitload of work. And I asked Bart, former Sinister guitarist, who is actually still a great friend of mine. I asked him, we played in Neo Caesar, as you probably know.
Okay.
Mike, Bart, me, and Eric. And he recorded the Neo Caesar album himself. And I was so impressed by that. And he knows how to capture underground, the underground sound we like, that I like.
Okay.
And I asked him like, would would you would you like to do the mixing? And he was like, yeah, you're my friend, so I will do that. But he didn't know what he was getting into, but because it was so much work.
Mm.
but he did an awesome job, really. And actually, there were 11 songs recorded, but from one song there was so much missing that we couldn't put it on the album.
Mm, okay, okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's
oh, you decide to start this band. You decide to start this band at the end of the night, 1997. I remember with at one of
Mhm.
the first lineup from
Yeah,
this Houwitser, and you bring
yeah,
this brutal, savage, violent death metal since the beginning to now. So 14 years passed for the last album. So how do you see Houwitser in this album compared to the perhaps from the dead but not buried, Embrace Damnation, or perhaps Rage Inside of the Tomb? By the way, those three albums are amazing.
yeah. They're still among my favorite albums as well. So and but yeah, the thing is with Howitzer, we always wanted to keep everything just brutal. No limits on speed, no limits on heaviness, no limits on power, and it's like carte blanche for brutalness. And yeah, like what we think that's brutal enough, that will happen. And if that's a song which consists of only blast beats, then it will be a song with only blast beats. And but if it's a song like there are songs on the album, there's one song with absolutely no blast beats, but I think it really it's still as brutal as the rest.
Mhm.
And that's
Yes.
the thing that we want to keep it just brutal. No compromises about that. We're not a band. We never have been known for being subtle with music, and that's the whole. That was the whole idea.
Okay. Interesting to
Just
know.
yeah.
Interesting to know. Well, talking about from this. Well, talking about this new Sentinel Beast, you mentioned me that about the delay, you all the thing forgot at that time. But now,
Mhm.
how do you see the results of the Sentinel Beast? Is great as that you record the first this time more than 10 years ago, or perhaps this new re-record area has more things. Because for me, this is a great example of how the Dutch death metal will be.
Yeah. Actually, when I heard the first rough mix that Bart was doing, I was listening to it and I was like, "Damn, it's actually good." And I remember when we were recording it, we had really had some doubts about some songs. Like, yeah, is it good enough? And that's probably also a reason why we left it alone. And when I heard it again, and I invited Richard, the other guitar player at my home, like, listen to this shit, and he was like, "Wow, we wrote some pretty nice songs there." So yeah, it was really an eye opener. Like, I think maybe it's a good thing that we waited so long, because it could like mature like a good wine.
Yeah, yeah,
A
correct,
really
correct.
strong wine then, or a Belgian beer.
Correct, correct. That's a good thing. So, well, for me, a surprise for this in this new Sentinel Beast is the mic. Is the Mike Van Maastricht is singing this album because the previous
Mhm.
ones no is the previous one not sing that mic. So how do you convoke call Mike to sing in this new album? Also, I saw that you both work in Neo Caesar. Neo
Yeah,
Caesar.
it was already recorded before we started Neo Caesar.
Oh,
And but like me and Mike have always been friends. Even when we were not playing in a band together, we just hook up and go on holidays together. Really good friends. And it was back in yeah, what was it? Uh, I think 2010 or so. Then yeah, right after we actually no, now I remember when we did the Bestial Atrocity recording, we asked if he wanted to do some vocals on that album,
Mm.
and then after that we did some shows, and he wanted to do those vocals, but he said if I can do a couple of shows like together with the former singer Stanley on stage, and that turned out quite well. And then Stanley quit it. So the first thing I did was call Mike, like, you did some guest vocals. How do you like to do it on a permanent base? And he was like, okay. So then he came back. And we did a couple of nice shows. We did like a small tour in Russia back then, and with Mike. And yeah, that was great. It was great to have him back on stage again.
Mm.
So that was cool.
Well, yeah,
And
well,
of course, then he did the vocals on uh, on the new album,
okay, okay. Oh,
obviously because he was the singer
oh,
back then.
okay. Well, Mike is one of the best singers in Europe, in whole Europe, because a lot of people know him from sinister vocals in the first and the second,
Mm,
well, until the fourth album. So a lot of people know him about
yeah,
Harvey's voice. It's very well known voice here also. So,
yeah, yeah.
uh,
He's got a certain voice. Yeah, typical. It's typical. You can remember, like, yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you. He's got an awesome voice, and
yeah,
it's powerful. It's like I know a lot of singers that do that grunt. They do it on a really low volume, but not Mike. Mike does it on with full power.
just
It's like, yeah, it's yeah, it's awesome. Really, it comes from his toes. And
yes,
that's
yes.
probably why
Yeah.
that's why he got that voice, probably.
Yes, yes, yes. No, other detail about this, about the Houwitser career, especially with you, because you created Vanos in 1997 with Ad from Sinister. So
Mm-hmm.
why, at that time, why Ad decided to leave the band and at that time?
Why Art left
Mm-hmm.
the band, or
Left.
well, actually, I left before Art. On the fourth album, I wasn't playing. The damn forgot forgot the title. The fourth album,
Damage assessment. Assessment?
Damage Assessment. Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't playing on that, and yeah, because of some yeah, things happening in my own life, and that's why I quitted the band. And they did it back then. They did those recordings and did the tour, and then the band dismantled, and Art picked up Sinister again. So
Oh, okay.
that's that was, as far as I know, the reason. And then, yeah, a couple of years later, I was like, yeah, I have some unfinished business, and I started it again.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
yeah, that's satisfying.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I saw, and why a question, a personal question outside of Howitzer. Why do you decide to
Mhm.
end the New Caesar? Because the first album from New Caesar is a great stone on the death metal, especially from Dutch, from the
Yeah,
Netherlands.
yeah. We had this pact, the four of us, Mike, Bart, Eric, and me. Like, we start this band with the four of us, and when anyone quits the band, the whole band just ceases to exist.
Mm.
And then Mike got some health issues, and he really couldn't sing. At one point, he couldn't sing anymore. He had yeah, lot of issues. He had a brain concussion at one point and some and stuff like that. So he really, yeah, he went to a rough time,
Okay.
and yeah, we at one point we came together because Bart, Eric, and me were already writing some songs, and uh, then uh, we got together in a meeting, and we were like, yeah, straight to the point, asking Mike, how do you feel about yourself? Like, how can you continue singing? And he was like, no, at this moment, it's impossible. So we dismantled the band and went our own ways,
Mm, okay.
music
Well,
wise. Then,
yeah.
because I still see the other three guys, as I told you, still great friends with Mike, but also with Bart and Eric. So it's only we only yeah stopped seeing each other like music wise, which isn't totally true because I'm in a band with Bart now. So
Oh, okay.
so
Nice, nice.
yeah.
Nice, nice. So, talking about for especially for the sound from Netherlands. So, how are you? How are for you? What is the how was your perception about to do death metal in Netherlands, especially with the sound that you had in this Sentinel Beast? Because the Savage is brutal. This album has the has the has well, has similarities with Sinister, with the other bands that Ed and you did in the past. So that's normally. So how was your perception of death metal compared to the other lines in the death metal scene around the world? Finland, Swedish, US, Brazil.
Yeah, I don't think there's like how you say it. Yeah, we just make music that we like, and it turns out to be like that way. Like uh, especially I've how you say it. We all live in the same area, and and we have there's a history with especially with me and Sinister. I started out as when I started my first band. One of the first shows I did was together with Sinister with my
Mm-hmm.
old band, and we did some shows. And then later on, they asked me if I wanted to go with them on tour as a roadie to help them out on the road. So I went on tour with Sinister as a roadie, and yeah, then they asked me to play bass in Sinister. So I got the like that's what where the Sinister connection probably comes from. And yeah, we got like this this way of writing songs. It all yeah, it's a bit the same. Yeah, it's hard to say, but yeah, but it's not because of the weather that we have that sound.
Well,
No, it's
mm,
yeah, just some guys playing their favorite music.
no, yeah, okay, well,
That's that easy.
yeah, it's very easy. Correct.
Yeah,
Correct. Well, talking about as well, you are the old guard, and as I mean, I'm 44 years old. So we prefer to hear the music with albums. We buy the physical
mhm.
collections, etc., etc. But now, as you can see, the time is different. The music is changed completely. Now the physical material, physical editions are for the just for the collector, not to hear music anymore, just for the collections. So, what's
Mhm.
your point of view on about now the music industry during the last 10 years? Because changed completely compared to the 80s, 70s, 80s,
Yeah,
and 90s.
yeah, that's totally different because yeah, you like uh, most people listen music online through
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music, that kind of stuff, and that became really important because you have to be yeah. Uh, like you said, that's totally. Back in the days, there was like the tape trading scene,
Yeah.
and yet, yeah, you were writing letters to other musicians, and fans were writing you, and it went really slow. And now you can put something online, and suddenly it can go viral. That's different. But what we see with the band I'm currently playing in, Blood for Me, that especially at shows, a lot of people buy CDs
Mhm.
and LPs. That's even cassettes. We that's I don't know how it is over there, but here in the Netherlands and in a lot of European countries, people buy their CDs at concerts.
Mhm.
Is what I see with my band. So
Mhm.
and yeah, that's quite cool because yeah, it's and of course vinyl is on its way back. It's making yeah a comeback, let's say, and there's there's already for the new Houwitser for example, already how many messages I got like, oh, you get it on vinyl as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people want vinyl again, and so and of course yeah, you got the collectors with the whole rooms full of
Mm.
CDs, and they need to have the one missing Howitzer album between the rest, you know. So yeah,
Mm. Well,
it's
okay.
yeah, it's a different world with yeah. You have to do a lot online nowadays.
Okay. Well, yeah, that is true. That's different world. Now the people want to listen just the music on YouTube or digital platforms in general. So
Yeah,
it's very different. And also there's no more the people just listen now songs, no full albums.
exactly.
That
Yeah, they make a playlist with favorite songs.
okay, okay. Well, so now we are very close
Guilty as
to
well.
We are very close to this interview, Michel. For this aspect, what kind of plans has for this Sentinel Beast? Perhaps you would prepare gigs, a few tours in Europe, who knows? Or perhaps a video, a full video of coming, who knows?
First of all, the album has to come out first, and then well, I don't have we don't have a complete band at this moment. So yeah, that's I don't know what will happen. Maybe we will do some shows. Maybe not. I don't know. Really, I want to see first. I want to see what will happen when it yeah when it comes out, and then we will see what the other guys will do.
Hmm?
But
Okay.
yeah, we're open to suggestions. Let's say so.
Okay. Okay, okay. So, well, one of the last questions. So, what is your opinion about now the actual extreme metal scene around the world? How do you see now? Because I saw the heavy metal stick with the past, the thrash metal stick with the past. New bands came out, but always try to stick with the old riffs. Just the death metal and extreme metal are still growing with new styles, with new mixtures, experimental avant. I don't know, a lot of mixers. So what's your opinion about now? The extreme metal are more bigger than the well, than the 90s.
Yeah, I must honestly say I'm an old school guy. I still listen to Altars of Madness and stuff like that.
Mm.
And uh, I'm not like looking for new music. And I hear from friends, they come with some new records, like, oh, you should listen to this. And then I have a listen, and sometimes, but I think because of the digital recording possibilities these days, a lot of the soul of the music gets lost. It's
Mm.
like everything is overproduced. It's compressed. It's so they all want to have the highest volume on their CD, uh, and when you listen to older stuff, I'm like, yeah, it has more dynamics, in my opinion, and that's what I'm missing with the newer stuff. And sometimes there are some bands that really, uh, yeah, really know how to do that, and other bands are just compressing the hell out of it. And yeah, I think that's a shame because a lot of the soul in music gets lost because of overproducing. That's that's one of the reasons why I asked Bart to do our mixing and mastering.
Mm.
He yeah. I think the our album also sounds different than everything else,
Well,
in
yeah,
my opinion.
yeah, that is true. For me, this album is more organic than digital.
Yeah,
Has a lot of new. But for me, I prefer this kind of sound because more savage than the clean death metal now that exists already. I prefer this kind of
yeah,
sound, more savage. When I hear for the first time this Sentinel Beast, he punched me on the face. That's the way. That's the death
yeah,
metal will be. A punch in the face. It's
yeah,
not like
exactly.
that.
That's the whole point of Houwitser. Just give you the
Yes,
punch in your face, and yeah, leave
correct.
you baffled, like what the hell happened here.
Yes, 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 yes. Full brutality on it. Yes, correct, correct.
Exactly.
Well,
That's
Michel.
the whole thing.
Well,
Right.
Michel, the sad times arrived at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this interview like me. This album is
Yeah.
a really sentinel beast, a beast in all ways. I prefer this sound as I mentioned it. So
Thank you
congratulations
very
on
much.
it. I did my pre-order with, as I mentioned, I did my pre with Clemson. So a great, I will expect for to come to the city here. So perhaps do you want to add something to your Latin American fans and obviously Metallerium followers?
Well, thank you, first of all, for doing this interview with me. Really enjoyed it, and it was what I hope everyone likes. Will enjoy our new album, Sentinel Beast. Uh, it took a while, but yeah, the waiting. Sometimes the longer you wait, the better it gets. So for us, it went that way, and yeah, I hope everyone will stay safe, stay brutal, keep supporting the scene, and yeah, the most important, keep supporting underground music because there are a lot of bands that need support.